Okay, so to get started, we're going to go ahead and open up Fiji, and then we're going to go to Image, Adjust, Brightness and Contrast. This is going to stay here for the entire time. Then you go into your folder and you access whatever image you want to start off with. So we're going to start off with this first one, and we're going to go ahead and just drag it into Fiji, let it go, and it's going to pop open. So let me turn up the brightness. Then we're going to go ahead and go into our brightness and contrast menu, and we're going to put auto. And that automatically kind of removes some of the noise. So you can see that the green is more bright and the background is more black. And you can keep pressing auto, and you can see that it keeps.
Can you see why my Fiji does not have all those files on top?
Hold on one second. Okay, so what I did was I sent the girls a code, and I'm going to teach them how to create their own macro and save it on their computer. So what we're going to do is go ahead and go to plugins, and then we're going to go to macros, and we're not going to click anything. We're just going to go to record. Okay, so now to save the macro, you go ahead and label it. So I'm going to say automated because some of my codes are not automated for a folder function, and this one is, so we're going to say folder. So it's been automated for a folder, and this will add a scale bar, scale, and then it's .ijm. It has to be .ijm because that is the language that Fiji is using to create this macro. So then we're just going to hit create. Okay, so then we're just going to go to File, Save As. No. Okay, so you don't go to the File menu, you actually go to your little macros table, and so whenever you hit create, it's going to open up its own window with whatever name you gave it. So here it's folder underscore scale.ijm. All of the code is here. Whenever this code is in color, it means that it's ready to run. If the code is not in color, then you have to select the language. So you go to language, IJ1 macro, and that'll get it to get colorful so that you can run it. So now we're going to go ahead and run this code. Okay, so now this macro is automated at the folder scale. So it will go into a folder, take your images, perform whatever function you have in your code, and then it will save everything in a new folder. So we're going to go ahead and hit run. So input directory refers to what folder do you want it to go into. So we are choosing this experimental folder, and we want it to take all of the images that are stored inside of this drug folder. We're going to select, and now it's asking you for an output directory. So here we're going to create a new folder, and it's going to be called results underscore scale, because we're adding a scale, and then from the drug folder. So you want to make sure that it's blue, and then you go ahead and put select, and there you go. You can see that the scale is being added to every single image, and then that image is being stored inside of the new folder that you just created. So we're going to go ahead and check. So here's the drug folder, and here's the folder that we just created, results, scale, drug. So you open it up, it was empty before, and now it's full of images. Each image has the exact same name that it had before, but we went ahead and added the word scale to the very front of it. We should have also added an underscore, but we can just fix the code for that. Okay, so here we wanted to change the way that the word scale appears in the images. So line 35 is save as TIFF, output plus the word scale. So we're going to go ahead and add an underscore. And then we're going to go to File and hit Save. Never mind, we're not going to hit Save yet. We're just going to leave it. Then we're going to go back to our folder where we just saved everything. We go to New, Experiment. So we're going to go ahead and delete this folder, our results folder, and we're going to do this again because we want our labels to be perfect. So we close this and we just run our code and we go to drug, that's the folder, our input directory, and then our output directory. This is where we create the other folder, results underscore scale underscore drug. Okay, select, and there we go. So now the images are being saved with a correct name, scale underscore, and then whatever name they had before. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and start off WEKA segmentation. But in order to do this, we need to create another folder of results where the images are processed and calibrated, but we do not want a scale bar. So we're going to go ahead and look for our line of code that adds the scale bar. So that's this one right here, line 32. And we're going to go ahead and silence that one. So we're going to run line 31 where it has the properties and it calibrates our image using the magnification line that we had up here in line 7. Magnification is equal to 1.71. So this is where we calibrated our image to the 2x magnification. It's 1.71 pixels for 1 micron of length. And so that's the only line that we want to keep. But we went ahead and removed the line that added our scale bar, which I can't find it anymore. Yeah, it was like line 30. Yeah, we're keeping line 31, removing line 32. So that's all we have to do. So we're going to go ahead and run again. So again, we're going to grab our drug folder. We're going to select, remember this is our input directory. So this is where we're telling the software, go into this folder and take these images for me. Select that. This new window is output directory. So now we're telling the folder or the software, I want you to store my images in this folder. So we're just going to say results underscore. So now we don't want to scale. We just want to calibrate the image. So calibrate underscore, and then the name of the folder where we took the images from, drug. So then we go ahead, make sure that folder is in blue, and then we put select. And that's it. You see our images are being calibrated, but there's no scale bar. So we can do downstream analysis with this. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and take our calibrated folder, and we're going to learn how to use WEKA. So WEKA is a machine learning plugin that will segment our images based on, it's a pixel-based segmentation technique. So we just have to teach it what it is we want. So the very first thing that we do is we open up our folder that says results, calibrate. Okay, so we're just going to take the very first image and we're going to drag it in there. So this image is kind of perfect because with WEKA, you don't want a perfect image. You actually want an image that has every type of imperfection that you have in your data set. Now, the reason for that is that you have to teach WEKA what you consider to be actual data, and you have to teach it what is background. So if you already have a really perfect looking image, it's never going to learn how to fix the lesser images. Once you have your image open, you go ahead and go to plugins. I think, plugins. Okay, and then you go to segmentation, plugins, segmentation, trainable WEKA segmentation. Okay, so here we want to go ahead and make this window a little bit larger. So this is the WEKA segmentation window. Here's your image. On the right hand side you have labels. So you have add to class 1 and add to class 2. In the settings you can add more classes, but I have not been able to get WEKA to work with a third class. It just did not happen for me. But for 2 classes, it's very simple. So basically what you would add to class 1 is everything that is green. So you're basically teaching WEKA what is your actual data. So here we have some networks, and we got to teach WEKA what those are. For our class 2, we're going to go ahead and add anything that is black. So we're just teaching WEKA what is supposed to be background. And then you're going to hit train classifier, and then you just wait. Sometimes it's 10 minutes, sometimes it's an hour for WEKA to finish training your classifier. And once you're done with that, you can get results. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And so what we need to do here is make sure that your Fiji bar is easily visible, because you're going to be using some of these tools here. So what you have to do first is go to your window and make it larger. And so I'm going to start training WEKA right here where it's easier. So you want to definitely zoom in. And then I'm going to go ahead and use a little peanut to start training WEKA. So I'll start here. And then that will be added to class 2, because that's going to be my background. So basically anything that is black, I'm going to go ahead and add it to class 2, like that. And you definitely want to go to different areas, different types of locations. So don't stick to just like these big easy locations. You also want to get in there into the little places. Like this tiny little hole right here, you definitely want to get in there so you can teach it. Okay. And so here I'm like really zoomed in, but there's like a few places down here where okay, and so we did the background in one little region. So now we want to go ahead and make sure we get some green. So like right here. Add to class 1. This right here is alone. We'll add that to class 1. Oh, this didn't take it when I added it earlier to class 1. Okay, perfect. Right here. And we want to make sure that it grabs these little like lines right here. So we want to make sure we add those, that one, and like this one. And then inside of it is black. There's nothing here, so we want to make sure what we're doing right now is we're teaching it to be very detailed. So with WEKA, I think it's supposed to be an RGB image, so we're going to have to redo this in a little bit if it doesn't work. But basically, when you're done doing a few in one location, you want to move to a different location, especially these locations where it's really blurry. This is where you really want to teach WEKA what you consider to be data and what you consider to be background. So this right here is background. And then these are networks. Okay, so once you've gotten a few locations, you can go ahead and train. So right now we went ahead and started training the classifier. So you can see that this button says stop. Whenever this says classifier again and these buttons turn black, that means that it's finished. Okay, so mine is done, but you can see here that it didn't capture a lot of these cells that are on the outskirts of this circle. And I want it to. So I'm going to go ahead and keep teaching it. And then we will go ahead and train the classifier again. So I'll keep doing that here.
And in my case, it also like captured.
Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to the line segment instead of the little peanut. I'm using the line, and I want to just kind of trace over like the brightest networks because I want WEKA to be more picky about what it takes. I really just wanted to take these bright networks the most. Another tool that I find really useful is this, I don't know what this one is called, but it's not the peanut, it's kind of different, but I really like it. I'll show you how it works here. So you basically just click in one location, click in another, and then it's gonna go ahead and take everything in the middle. So this is really good for when you have big chunks of background to take everything at once. And it's like, it's a good area for classification. And there you go. Okay, so now that I've trained a little bit more in different areas, then I'm going to go ahead and train the classifier again. Okay. So once you're done and you're happy with your classifier, so here I'm like semi-happy, but I'm just going to go through with this tutorial. We're going to go ahead and save this classifier. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is exit that folder, exit this folder, and we're going to go to the main folder. Actually, no, we're going to go into that same folder. We were in this one. So this was like our main folder for this data set. So we're going to go ahead and create a folder in there where we're saving all of our results, and I'm going to name it classifier. So this is going to show that this is the classifier that I used for this data set. And so then you just click in that folder and you're going to save it as, you have to think of a name. Crap, I wasn't recording. Okay, so what I did was I named it and then you put dot model so that it saves it as a dot model. So it has already been saved because you see that all of my buttons are available to be clicked again. So now it's time to get our results. So we're going to go ahead and click get probability. And this takes about 3 minutes. This is fantastic. It looks beautiful. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and save this. So file, save as, TIFF. And so here where we have all of our results folders for this data set, I'm creating a new folder and it's going to be called results underscore WEKA underscore.
Mine looks like,
yeah, just WEKA, results WEKA.
How did you get the black part? The black and white? Oh.
Okay, so the only problem here is that when we're ready to save, once you've gone through the whole WEKA thing, it erased the name of this image. So you have to go back and get the name of the image that you used. So for us, I think it was this one. So then to label the image, I went to go look at it to see what it was. So it was A5 underscore day 0 underscore Huvex. So this is day 0 after the drug was added. So I think it was 1 day after the cells were cultured. So A5 day 0 Huvex 2x magnification. And when we want to leave the title probability maps inside of the file name so that we know what we're looking for. And then I think we put .tiff. I'm not sure if it's already a tiff or what. And wait, is it .tiff? No, I don't put .tiff because I'm not sure what type of file this is and I don't want to mess with it. So I'm just going to put save. Okay, so now for downstream analysis, you have to realize that this right here has 2 images. So there is this one, and then this one, I think this is just the inverted image. So for downstream analysis, we don't want to use both of these. We're going to put Control-Shift-D. So title, class 1, we would have to rename this to the same name. We don't want to duplicate the stack. We literally just want this top image. So we would just push OK. And so now we have the duplicated only the one image that we want. So now with these WEKA segmented images, we would be able to save them all in one folder and then continue with downstream analysis. So we can use different types of plugins. For example, for any time we have networks, we usually use this one called skeleton, but that's like a whole nother video that I will make on that. But basically, this is the very first step in your analysis. You want to make sure that you calibrate your image, and then you go ahead and add your scale bars, and then you save calibrated images with no scale bars so that you can use them for WEKA, and then you create a classifier for each data set. And then we're going to go ahead and use this classifier to get these results. And then from here, we will be able to do downstream analysis. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and open up another image. We're going to close this. So we're going to go back to our folder, and we're going to open up a different image. So we can do a day 1, a day 2. I'm interested to see if this classifier works on later days. So D5.3, is that day 5?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to try the classifier to see.
Would be so that's like.
So this is a day 3 image. D5 is the well. So this one looks super different to the one we classified, so it may or may not work. We may need to make a different classifier for this. But let's go ahead and test it out. So the very first thing that you do is you open up your image, and then pay attention. This is a 16-bit image. It says it right here. So we're going to go ahead and go to image, type RGB. Okay, so now this is an RGB image, and then we're going to go ahead and go to plugins, segmentation, trainable WEKA segmentation, and now we're not going to train classifier, we're going to load classifier. From here, we go to our folder where we saved our classifier. It's right here, classifier. Click on it, open, and then we wait. Okay, so that classifier did not want to work. So we're going to go ahead and load a different classifier from one of my other experiments. I think I have a folder that's just called classifiers. So here we go, classifiers, 2x classifiers. Oh wait, 2x new microscope. Okay. So these are day 3, 2x tetraculture, day 6. I'll try a day 3. Error when loading WEKA classifier. Okay, let's try another one. This one. Oh my gosh, it doesn't want to load anything. Okay, let's try this one. Okay, so once we loaded a classifier that actually worked with this image, we went ahead and clicked get probability, I think, because you can also do create results. And I think we did the get probability and it gave us this. And this came out actually not bad. Let me show you the images side by side. I wish I could just get the image. Okay, so this was like not bad. Okay, I don't even know how to. Okay, but it's not bad. The only part that came out wrong was this section right here. It showed up like right there. And really, that's supposed to be black because it's not actually data. It's just like oversaturation, or it's just fluorescence that's not supposed to be there. So this classifier was almost perfect for this data set, but I would not use it because you would have to manually go in and remove this from every single image. And the whole point of using WEKA is to automate. So you want to automate 100%. You do not want to have to go in and do anything manually. So we would have to create a new classifier for this data set.